Hello and welcome back. I am Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's do episode 2 of the French Arumba's Assay. We're going for the Master of India achievement, and we're going to get some gameplay in. So I have a couple more notes to go over, and then we are ready to start playing for a bit. We should consider using policies to enhance our current goals. So one of the concerns that the gentleman had was that he has a hard time beating some of the other nations that are out there. And I noticed we don't actually have any policies on right now. One of them I would consider is the modern firearm techniques, infantry combat ability plus 20%. Currently, we have 10% infantry combat ability, and having it go up to 30% would be amazing. We already have relatively decent discipline. We have, of course, Elan, because we're France, so our morale of armies is great. We have more morale than pretty much anyone. So let's turn that policy on. We're not going to fall behind on tech, I don't think. We'll turn on that. And of course, as we get more economy coming in, we can continue to upgrade our advisors so that we can support policies and things like that. Next, I wanted to go back to this absolutism thing. I think that strengthening government here is perfectly reasonable to do. So we'll do that like just three times. I don't want to pay for that last 4 legitimacy. Absolutism is good to have. 2 more absolutism would be great, gives us more discipline. It's only going to cost us a little bit to get this technology, because we have some pretty good discounts so far. Ideas, expanded war council, neighbor bonus, philosophers, scientific revolution, etc. We do have a lot of corruption, which I wanted to talk about. I think that we should spend money to get rid of it. I don't like corruption in this case. I'm not sure why we have so much, but I would buy it down as quickly as I could before the next 2 years pass and we start taking next levels of technology. Same thing with inflation. I would recommend buying this down as well. One thing to consider is that we are in the age of absolutism and we haven't used our golden era yet. We need to have a potential for a large army. We only satisfy 2 of these criteria just yet. Multicultural nation is something we could actually accomplish right away. Building universities is pretty easy to do. It'd be harder to get our force limit up right now than anything else. That reminds me as well, talking about colonial nations, notice how we're only getting merchant here? We do want to colonize in colonial Jenin a little bit more, but I don't think while we have corruption that I would run 5 colonies. I mean, the fact that he's colonizing Montreal with the estuary is good, I guess, but like this one here with the 80, it's just a crappy 4 development province. I wouldn't even do this one. I would pull this guy back and stay on 4 colonies, and I would try to prioritize finishing this colony before worrying about others. Okay, forts. We don't have enough forts to maintain our army tradition. Alright, let's go ahead and accept 2 more cultures, just so that we can trigger our golden era. We'll accept Tunisian, we'll accept Sardinian. I don't even care what it is, really. I mean, ideally we'd want to accept, like, Castilian or something, but basically I just want to trigger that golden era. Okay, so multicultural nation will be satisfied starting next month. We can trigger our golden era. More maximum absolutism, power costs will go down. Could have done some of those clicks in a different order so that we would have, less money or less military points spent on the legitimacy, but it's not a big deal. Okay, next up. Our merchants haven't even fully arrived yet, by the way, and we're already making more money. We were making 64 ducats in trade, now we're making 76. Income's gone up by about 20 ducats so far. Let's go ahead and buy down inflation twice. Let's go ahead and hire a general or 2. I'm not going to do any of the estate clicks because unfortunately I don't know that this guy had that DLC. I noticed that not a single one of them had been clicked, so I'm expecting that he doesn't actually have it. Just find a province to give to the clergy so they'll be happy. Clergy expecting control 15%. And nobles are the same. Ideally, if we had grain, we'd want to give them the grain provinces. Trying to find provinces to assign estates is sort of irritating. They can just have Whatever. Just take some provinces. Stop whining at me. Okay, so we're not going to do any other state modifiers or things like that. Next, you might want to consider using state edicts for situational boosts. Things like this. We have a missionary active right now. We only have 1.7% missionary strength. You'd think we do have more land that needs to be converted here. So like in this state, I would turn on the Religious Unity Edict just so we can get that conversion strength up to a much higher number. Instead of 1, we can have 2.7. Enable missionary strength decisions if your country's stable and can handle rebels. Looking at our country's stability, we have negative 4.22 national unrest modifier. We also have very high tolerance of the faith. And we actually have positive tolerance of heretics, and they're the only type of people we really have in our country. So there's a couple decisions we can turn on that will help out with conversion speed. I would always take this one. 5% stability cost modifier is like nothing. We'll do that. And then the Conventicle Act, we can then turn right around and get extra 1% missionary strength. Tolerance of heretics -1 there is fine. Not going to do the statute and restraint of appeals, but lastly, do we want to consider turning on any other policies? Settler chance plus 5% for the colonists. 19%, 20%. That's a pretty significant increase in the settler growth. Global trade power is also quite nice. But we're doing a diplomatic idea group. We haven't even had a chance to talk about ideas yet. He went offensive into exploration, into innovative, into quality, into expansion. It's fine. I like pretty much every one of these idea groups. The order maybe could have been done differently. I probably personally wouldn't have gone offensive first. I probably would have gone innovative, into offensive, into exploration, expansion, then quality. But it doesn't really matter. They're all good idea groups, and I approve. Okay, next up, we do need some generals. We can't afford to have none generals. So let's just hire at least one. We'll take a 6-2, that's fine. And let's get started on our war with Aragon. And I think there were still a couple other items on my list. If you're staying Catholic, you want to be friends with the Pope. That's kind of important, right? The Pope hates us because we violated the Treaty of Tordesillas a lot. We have improved relations with him a little bit, but when you are Catholic, like the primary advantage are these cliques. And these cliques are determined by your papal influence. We gain a lot of base papal influence per year, 4, but it's modified by negative 75% because the Pope is pissed. So we want to max out relations with the Pope and preferably not piss him off anymore. Violating the Treaty of Tordesillas is something I would not do if I were trying to stay Catholic. As far as army composition goes, I think this is another example where, especially now that we have that military, the combat ability for infantry turned on, we need to really trim down the cav. There's way too many cav. We got an army down here. That's fine. Are these like composed armies that he's built? No, it's not a template. Go to war with Aragon. He does have some land down here, so let's get that army that way. I'm just going to go ahead and disband like most of the cav that are out there right now. I don't care about the drill. I don't care about any of that stuff. Looks like he's got these nice little stacks that he's put together, but thing is, with combat width at 34, and with the current technology for military, you can run 6 cav, but in a major battle, you're going to have all these troops together and just have the 6 cav there. You only need 6 for the major battle. And in every other case, you don't need them at all. You want to be sieging with infantry or more cannons. That's also going to save us on our economy a little bit. We only have 23 cannons. And right now we have access to level 3 forts, which means that most forts, if they are upgraded, like this one, are going to require 20 cannons to siege. So we only have 5 here, 5 here, 5 here. We need way more cannons. At least get our 20 built up there. You can take an idea. Kind of hoping corruption will go down, but yeah, I'll take that idea now. Get it out of the way. We don't really need admin tech too badly right now. Town hall doesn't make any difference, really. Okay, so that all being said, let's go to war. Native civilization in a place is fine. Right, again, one last thought on the note list here. Another reason why we want to do the army composition like this with fewer cav. And how do I still have 10? I had 4 stacks. I missed one in the New World. Yeah, there's 2 cav over here. I guess those guys are okay over there. Alright, 10 cav's fine. But we want to inflate our overall numbers. So by having fewer of the expensive troops like cav, we can make more infantry. And by having more infantry, we are scarier in a war. Relative strength of the alliance will make the AI want to bow out of the war much earlier. Let's check one last time on these guys. I still want to talk about these things as well. There's just so much. East Frisia is a subject for some reason. I don't really know why. All right, Catalonia is steering trade. Tripoli, we probably should also divert trade. These guys, we don't need to do anything else with. I would probably consider with like Colonial Louisiana upgrading their tariff rate because they have no liberty desire at all, and it's not a huge cost. Interesting how Golden Era doesn't apply to that 50 admin cost there. That's apparently a fixed cost. But the primary purpose of colonial nations is to make you money. And unlike vassal income, this is actually 20% of their total income, including production. So you get 20% of everything that they make. But for now, we are doing an administrative... It's an administrative idea group, not diplomatic, isn't it? In that case, we want to focus admin. We could do more conversions. Tuzine, 1.5% in 30 months. That one going. I would also consider becoming Defender of the Faith, just that we can have a second missionary. We're doing okay on religious unity for the most part, but I would want to make it faster. Okay, so he's going to pull in Morocco and Bohemia. Bohemia is actually -2 reasons to even be in the war. Occupied and besieged provinces for Bohemia. Alright, in that case, I'm actually willing to wait just a moment and see if we can get him to not honor the call. The fact that he's currently in a war means he's going to have potential debts and potential occupied provinces or revolts, that kind of stuff. Improve with the Pope a little bit, scope speed 4. Bavaria pays Salzburg war reps. Okay, now, okay. I want to show you guys this because I think this is significant. I want to just show how significant this change is. If we go to... here... This is the snapshot of our income before we made the changes. Our tax income has gone up slightly. Our production income has gone up slightly. Trade income is up by over 30 ducats just from making those changes to trade. Our net income is now 58 ducats a month. Before we were making 58 ducats a month, sure, but we weren't rooting out corruption. Now we're still making about 58 ducats, but we're spending it all on rooting out corruption. If we didn't root out corruption, we'd be making 119 ducats a month net. So it's very significant. These changes to trade can be massive. Now we're up to 56% control here. Part of it is that we're demanding trade power from Catalonia, but that's fine. All right, we're gonna play on speed a little bit, whatever. Four quality iron is fine. Armor state is complete. Spend that manpower. We were also over the manpower cap, which means we weren't regaining our 1,368 manpower per month, which is kind of a waste of money. At least we don't have any mercs. That's a good sign. I would also consider upgrading forts for the extra tech. We could take military tech 1 year early just to make this war a little bit easier. Military tech 22 does give us artillery fire plus... Yeah, I guess I'm willing to pay for that. Let's get that upgraded cannon. And what I want to do is just actually grab these cannons, and then grab all these other cannons that just got built and have them all go down there too. And I'd like to grab... a few extra infantry. We want to have that primary combat stack ready to go against the fairly amazing Aragonese army. We want to have all the cannons up there. So far we only have the 20 in this area. I think we want even more than that. Combat width is at 36. He's got 21 cannons of his own. Just keep on training for a couple more months. Check opinion here. Catalonia. Tripoli. Sounded like he was considering giving this land to Tripoli and having him core it, but Tripoli has increased... Does Tripoli have increased scoring costs? I can't recall now. Also core creation on us, yeah. So they're not really a great subject either. If anything, you would want to use Catalonia. Feed the land to Catalonia, let him be a multicultural nation. Okay, we are down to net 300, down to 39 net ducats. We can do another one of these guys. He has turned on the French Musketeers bonus, which is pretty great. Harsh treatment costs, don't care about. Autonomy, cooldown. Border forts with rival, no. Monthly devastation, no. I guess I'd take harsh treatment. It's unlikely that we're going to do it too much. Although harsh treatment does also give you absolutism. But they need to have actual positive unrest. 833 years. We won't take Diplotech early. Okay, so we have a 24, 4, 20. That's 28 in the front row. We're not quite there yet. Supply here is 53. 28. Needs to go up to there, so let's grab 8 more infantry. We could be using... I think some of these troops have drill. He had been drilling some of them at one point. For now, let's get this guy over here and have him drill this infantry stack. Whose sole purpose is just to be second liners or something. And we still need to just inflate that cannon number. Rebel support cancelled. Our support for the brave Moroccan separatists has come to an end. I see. Check and see if Bohemia still wants to defend Aragon. Exceeded the supply limit slightly. Oops. Oh well. Supply limits need to be higher in this game in general anyway. Bohemia's at 7 reasons now. Alright, well, I'm not going to wait any longer. Let's make the war goal Valencia. It is going to be difficult to siege, but it's fine. Okay, so we're down there. Our primary navy is here. We have no admiral. I probably do want to hire an admiral. Just somebody that we can use to fight. We can call our allies into war. Portugal will help. Alright, sure, why not? We have like 100 trust and 54 favors. Might as well use them, right? And also, I don't feel comfortable having too few generals. A 6 fire general is definitely going to be good with all the cannons, especially with our fire damage multiplier and that new tech. We're temporarily ahead of Aragon on tech anyway, so let's go over there. As far as getting into India, there's this guy's a long way off. Kilwa is like one of the easiest people to attack right now. He's behind time on tech by 4 levels. Like, that's one of the things we should be doing. We should also be going after Mali because we don't have a merchant in this Ivory Coast node. We should also be going after Congo, like, so we can get the trade power from the Congo node where there's 14 local ducats. There's just so much. There's so many rooms, so many opportunities for expansion right now. I do want to still train more cannons. Alright, so this army is just going to suffer a fair bit of attrition, and that's alright. We have the full bonus for the 5 siege pips. We have 18-day siege ticks because apparently we have insane siege ability due to engineer corps, army tradition, and army professionalism, which is great. Julie something. The Gascon Catholic Commandant joins our court. Half-price discipline advisor. Or we could have a general, a 4-4-3-4. Oh, I definitely want a general right now. Let's do that and have her go on to Valencia. Like we suffered a disease outbreak or something. Yep. we'll have this guy with the 2 siege ships go up to there. We'll bring at least 1 cannon. Number of troops required for this siege is what? 15 stack? Alright, that's fine. We'll keep the whole thing there. Alright, look at that. 4-5 with a ridiculous 18-day siege tick. Wall breach. Let's go ahead and build a spy network against him. No, we don't really need that. Wanted to spy on Mali. Wanted to spy on Kilwa. Soon we'll have imperialism, so we don't really need to have a lot of claims, but it is something that we can work toward. The Bohemia's in the war. We've also got Morocco in the war. Morocco apparently just has a level 1 fort here. This army can all head over to here. We do have an extra relationship slot from our recent idea. Come back to here, get access through Tlemcen. Put the other commander in charge here. Have the whole army march to the capital. And then go back to improving with Lorraine so that we can integrate him soon. Also, we want to continue training a lot of infantry over time just so that we can get that build the force limit bonus. Okay, so that's done. We've got a breach here in Pyreneo. We've got 25-day siege ticks. We only have 1 cannon there right now. I would personally prefer to just avoid the combat with Aragon because we're not trying to take everything from him. Really, all we want to do is just take the 2 cores back right now. War score cost for that's going to probably be like 40 or so %. With our 4-4-3-4, we can negate that river crossing. We have 32 in the front row right now to his 32. The combat width is 36. Let's go up to 4 more infantry. Actually, you know what? Since we have that cav there, let's take the cav. Our navy should do just fine in this. New settlements. Gain prestige or gain base tax? Well, prestige is morale of armies, and base tax doesn't really make a huge difference. 1 base tax, when you're the #1 world great power, and you have, 515 base tax, it's so insignificant relative to 10 prestige that I would just take the prestige. Let's go do this battle. That's maxed out relations with Lorraine. Looks like we'll have to wait for the siphon income to wear off. Nice roll there, Julie. Silly woman. But look at that morale advantage. 6.7's pretty good. They have some pretty good modifiers too. Apparently they have full Elan as well. Captured 4 ships. He has nowhere to retreat to, so let's just get started on the next battle. That's the stack wipe. Now we can take the cannons. We need a total of 15 up there. We've got 1 + 2, 3, so we gotta send 12 more. Let's take Julie up there as well. Let's get some more infantry being trained. Looks like our navy is going to get the rest of that fleet murdered. We could go over here or try to fight this other fleet of transports, which I think we'll do next. And there's a siege of Pyreneo. That's 22 war score with medium enthusiasm. He's almost down to low. If we establish a blockade on the fort in Messina, I think he'll peace out. 4 games has expired. Alright, I'm gonna take a short break here. We'll play this for at least a couple more episodes and just kind of keep on working on building up the strength of the Navy. Or the nation. Alright, thanks for watching everyone. See you guys in the next one.